Mongol invasion of Delhi. At a time when Mongol armies were ravaging the rest of the medieval world, Khalji sought to protect India's civilization and culture from the plague. With army units numbering 10,000 men known as Tuman, the Mongol commanders made an incursion into India. These invasions were either led by various descendants of Genghis Khan or by Mongol divisional commanders. The size of these armies ranged from 10,000 to 30,000 cavalry. They were fierce and mean for war. The first invasion attempt was made in 1298 AD and involved 100,000 horsemen. Alauddin sent an army commanded by his brother Ulugh Khan and General Zafar Khan, and this army completely defeated the Mongols with the capture of 20,000 prisoners who were executed. The outrageous second attack on Delhi. This humiliating defeat prompted Duwa Khan to attempt another all-out attack on India in 1299 AD, and he sent his son Khalji Khwaja with 200,000 troops. Determined to put an end to the Delhi Sultanate once and for all. The Mongol army arrived in Delhi fully equipped for this attack and with sufficient provisions for a long campaign. Alauddin's own advisors panicked and advised him not to confront the feared Mongols who had come in such force. Alauddin's predecessor, Jalaluddin, had avoided war with the Mongols in a previous attack by accepting humiliating demands from them. But Alauddin was determined to fight until the end. As Lal describes it, he told his advisor, "How could he retain sovereignty of Delhi when he trembled in the face of invaders? What would his contemporaries and those opponents who had marched 2,000 coasts to fight him say if he hid behind the back of a camel? And what judgment would posterity pass on him? How dare he show his composure to anyone or even enter the royal harem when he has been guilty of cowardice and endeavored to repel the Mongols through diplomacy and negotiation? Whatever happens, I am determined to march to the plains of Khiliji tomorrow, where I offer to join the fight with Khalji Khwaja." This was a full-fledged invasion rather than a punitive attack. The Mongols ignored a number of towns and villages in their attempt to attack Delhi, while Alauddin Khilji's main force was engaged in the Gujarat campaign. Alauddin met Khalji Khwaja at Khiliji. Alauddin's general Zafar Khan attacked a Mongol unit led by Hilak without permission from him. They were met by a Mongol force at the Yamuna River. The Delhi army suffered a defeat and had to retreat to the capital. There was a general feeling of fear and panic in the town after the setback, so Alauddin called a council meeting to discuss the way forward. Despite warnings from his advisors that the Mongols were far too numerous, powerful, and close to consolation, Alauddin refused to back down and marched north from Delhi. Zafar Khan led the first charge against the Mongols in revenge for his failure on the Yamuna. Khalji Khwaja brought between 50,000 and 60,000 horsemen, while the Delhi army brought 3 million horses and 2,700 elephants. During the war, Khalji Khwaja admired his courage and invited him to join the Mongols and also offered him the position of ruler. Zafar Khan rejected the proposal because he was indebted to the Sultan to whom he pledged loyalty to and whose army he led. In this war, Khalji Khwaja assassinated him and his entire army. Zafar Khan won the day by his bravery and martyrdom. Khalji died from the wounds sustained after killing Zafar Khan, and the Mongols lost their prince. The Mongols saw this as a defeat in the Battle of Khiliji. Retreating, the Mongols returned to their homeland without arresting on the way. Note: despite Zafar Khan's significant contribution to Alauddin's army, his name has been removed from the royal chronicle and his contribution has never been acknowledged. Siege of Delhi. However, Duwa Khan, the Mongol emperor, was not happy. In 1303 AD, under the command of his general Taragai, he sent a massive force of 120,000 cavalry to attack Delhi. Unfortunately for Alauddin, this came immediately after his long struggle and victory over the kingdom of Chittor. That Alauddin was engaged in his attack on Chittor was known to Taragai and was one of the key factors in his planning. Alauddin was completely surprised. His army was very exhausted and had suffered heavy equipment losses at the Battle of Chittor. He tried to get reinforcements from other parts of the empire, but the Mongols had blocked all roads to Delhi. But Alauddin did not lose heart and fought a brave defensive battle. Lal explains it this way. Sultan Alauddin mustered all the forces he had in the capital and deployed his forces to the plains of Siri. Since it was impossible to fight the Mongols in open battle with such a small army, Alauddin decided to exhaust the patience of the besiegers by reinforcing his defensive lines. East of Siri was the Jamuna River, and to the southwest was the old citadel of Delhi, although it had not been re-established at the time of Taragai's invasion. To the south lay the dense jungle of Old Delhi. So the only vulnerable side was the north, where the Mongols had encamped. Alauddin dug trenches and built ramparts, creating a strong defensive position which made it impossible for Taragai to defeat him. After 2 months of trying to break Alauddin's defenses, Taragai lost his temper and returned home. This was clearly a brilliant general under extremely adverse circumstances, which would have meant certain defeat for anyone not so resolute and resourceful. This close shave made Alauddin realize the need for a stronger defense of the capital, and he took various measures such as building a wall, repairing forts, and the like. As a result, Delhi was never again at risk of capture by the Mongols. Battle of Amroha. In 1305 AD, in an attempt to avenge their earlier defeats, the Mongols invaded again, led by Taragai, Ali Beg and Tartak, with a force of 50,000 horsemen. Taragai was killed in a preliminary engagement even before reaching Delhi, but Ali Beg and Tartak persevered. Knowing that Delhi was heavily defended, they began pillaging the Awadh countryside. Alauddin sent a force of 30,000 to 40,000 horsemen with General Malik Nayak to meet the Mongols and inflicted a crushing defeat on them on December 30th, 1305. 20,000 enemy horses were captured and most of the soldiers were slaughtered. 8,000 POWs were taken to Delhi, including the 2 generals, who were then beheaded. Battle of Ravi. Last attempt, 1306 AD, shortly before his death, Duwa Khan sent generals Qubak and Iqbal Mand with an army of 50,000 to 60,000 cavalry. Qubak advanced towards the Ravi River and Iqbal Mand advanced towards Niger. Alauddin dispatched his favorite general, Malik Kafur, to deal with the Mongols. Kafur defeated Qubak in a battle on the Ravi and captured him alive. He then intercepted and defeated the second force at Niger. Of the Mongol invasion force, only 3,000 or 4,000 troops remained. Thus, Alauddin Khilji achieved what no other leader in the world, whether in the east or in the west, had achieved. He repeatedly repulsed and defeated large-scale invasions by the Mongols, who had been an unstoppable force wherever they went: Russia, China, Persia, Iraq, Syria, Europe. He managed to repel troops of up to 200,000 Mongol horsemen. By comparison, the force that Hulagu brought to Baghdad and used to utterly destroy the caliphate numbered only 150,000 horsemen. Alauddin Khaiji life. Certainly, Khilji was an extremely cruel, suspicious and vengeful man, meting out barbaric punishments to those who angered him. But his cruelty was impartial and made no distinction between Hindus and Muslims. Alauddin Khilji. He was born in Delhi in 1266 AD, lived his entire life in the Indian subcontinent, and ruled as Sultan of Delhi from 1296 to 1316 AD.